I realized education wasn't as flexible of a career as I think a lot of people think it is, with summers off and holidays off. Try being able to take your kid to a doctor's appointment or being able to go to your kid's award ceremony is a lot tougher than I think people realize.
So, Jenna, what are you doing now?
Yeah. So even though I'm no longer teaching in the school, I'm still have an education component to what I'm doing. So I
Love
am
that.
educating individuals, families, small business owners on what their options are in regards to financial strategizing. So helping them put protections in place and really work on the best ways to meet their financial goals.
How amazing is that? It's something that teachers always wanted to still hold on to, right? The ability to continue to train, to teach, to help others.
Absolutely. I think one thing that was super important and critical to me in my job career journey was finding that new career that still gave me that sense of purpose. Um, that's why I've left careers in the past and why I went into education to begin with. And I think leaving education, I think most teachers feel like the the typical or the I guess the normal path is to go into corporate learning. And while that is a fantastic route to go, there's a lot of transferable skills there. It's not the only path and it's not the only way to continue to educate people.
Such amazing points. First off, that there isn't just one path. Okay. I'm always talking about you don't have to choose one direction. There isn't just one path, but also the fact that you were going towards something rather than running away, that you were looking for something that still, met what you wanted, your passion, your goals. And you weren't just running to take any job out there.
Absolutely. I think it was, I wanted to find that ideal position, that ideal career, something that I could stay in long term. And I hope that this is my final one. Like I would love to be able to retire from this career one day.
So you have an interesting background. So it's not limited just to education. So what is your background?
Yeah, definitely not the norm. I did graduate with a degree in finance. So there was that background that I had. I went into the mortgage industry straight out of college. That was right in 2007, right when the housing bubble burst. So it was very an interesting place to be. Worked at a large mortgage bank for just shy of a decade, but was lacking that purpose. And then also had some young kids and wanted a schedule that matched theirs. And that's kind of where the education piece came in. And I think, as my kids have gotten older, um, I realized education wasn't as flexible of a career as I think a lot of people think it is, with summers off and holidays off. Try being able to take your kid to a doctor's appointment or being able to go to your kid's award ceremony is a lot tougher than I think people realize. And so I really
Correct.
was looking
Correct.
for not only that career that had a purpose, but that provided me the flexibility and, to be honest, the income potential and growth potential that's not in education.
And you're allowed to have that, right?
Mhm.
You're allowed to want to earn more money. You're
Yeah,
allowed to have greater financial security for yourself and your own family, for sure.
absolutely.
And I really appreciate how you had different careers at different stages of your life.
Yeah, I think it's been fun and as part of my new role, I've actually gotten to go and meet with college students. I've gone to a couple career fairs at campuses and gotten to go talk with different classes. And that is one thing that I stress to those students a lot is you don't have to find your one career. That really isn't I don't think that's the norm today. I think people change
It's
careers
really not.
every 5 years, something along those lines. Because our preferences change, our needs change, our passions
The
change.
the world changes. We've experienced a lot of different things in our world in the past few years.
Absolutely.
So what do you love about your new job?
I think there's a lot. The autonomy is huge. I basically run my own business within a massive corporation, which is so I have the stability side of that, but the autonomy side, I choose where I want to work, I choose when I want to work, I choose who I want to work with. Um, which is great from being a working mother perspective. But I also love that I'm compensated based off of what I do. So I've always been, I always liked individual work versus group project because I always felt like I was putting
Don't
in,
we all
right?
of us hard workers prefer individual work versus group projects.
Exactly. Like I love working on a team, but in the same sense, I want to be compensated for what I bring to the table. And so I think that's one of the big things that I appreciate in this career as well.
It's an interesting thing that you just pointed out, right? That you work hard and you get rewarded. And that's one of the things that is lacking in education. Teachers earn the same amount of money. This is how many years you're teaching. This is your degree. This is what you're earning. Period.
Right. Doesn't matter, you're the person working in the classroom next door to you may only put in 40 hours a week, and you may be putting in 60, 70 hours a week, and you're getting paid the exact same amount. Or you may
Yes.
have the more challenging group of students and still getting paid the same amount as the person next to you.
Yeah, really, really strong points. Really strong points for the career that you have right now outside of where you're paid based on the value that you provide,
Mhm.
right? The clients that you've retained for sure. For sure. So what was it like the transition out of the classroom? What was it like before we started? What was it like when we worked together?
Cindy, before we started, I would say that my mental state was not ready for the transition, was not ready for the job hunt. It was very much, um, my self esteem wasn't at the level that it should have been. I was just an educator, right? Like,
Right.
and
I remember
so
that.
in working with you, you helped build me up in realizing that I didn't just do this. I didn't just have this background, but truly looking at all of the things that I had to offer, and finding the best ways to represent those qualities and skills when I was applying for jobs and interviewing for jobs.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. It's a big problem that a lot of women have, a lot of educators have, where we put ourselves down and I just did this or we or I only without realizing the amount of value you bring to the table.
Absolutely. And I will say, like, I'm in the process of taking a promotion in my current job where I'm going to be focused more on finding talented people and then helping them step into this career. And I will say, a lot of the people that I am looking at and trying to recruit are educators wanting to leave the classroom because I see the value that they have and those transferable skills and just the passion and ability to work with a wide variety of people
And communicate,
and communicate.
right? And communicate and understand needs and be attentive to their needs and how you can solve their problems for sure.
And breaking down complicated concepts into understandable bits and pieces.
Which is exactly what finance is, right? A lot of
Mhm.
complicated concepts.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
A lot of complicated concepts. So what were our sessions like? What was that journey of us working together? What did that look like?
So there was a lot of hand holding, there was a lot of pushing, which I appreciated. It was you were in the trenches with me as we worked through stuff. So really helping to tweak and refine the resume and the cover letters and providing that guidance, the weekly emails that I still get from you, that offer tidbits here and there and reminders of best ways to do things.
Awesome, awesome. So what is your advice for anybody that is looking to transition out of education or make a pivot in their career?
I think a couple things. One is I would highly recommend talking with you for one.
Thank you. Thank you.
I feel like you need to understand what the job market is like today. And it is very different than it was even 5, 10 years ago, and how people are looking at resumes and looking at cover letters and how they're interviewing. And so being partnered with someone that understands that really can give you a step up, amongst all the other candidates out there. I think it's keeping an open mind as you go in. I know when I started the process, I was very much, no, I want corporate education. Like that is where I wanted to go. And being open minded and being willing to take a chance, take the interview. The worst thing that can happen is you decide it's not the right fit, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
So,
Yes,
um,
completely agree with you.
I think those are big things, and I think the other thing is networking, talking with starting to build up who are the people that using LinkedIn, who are the people that are working in the type of career that you're looking at or the company that you're looking at, and just reaching out and having a conversation.
Well, thank you. I'm so happy that you are doing so well in your career. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I know that you're going to get that promotion and that you're going to have continued success in your career. So thank you so much. I wish you always the best.
Thanks, Cindy. Appreciate it.